Okay, green light, Mike. We are live. Everybody, welcome to the Naked and Famous Denim weekly live stream. I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, what? It's early. It's early in the morning for us here in Japan, and we're glad that you guys have joined us for another episode of the Naked and Famous Denim live stream. Yeah, sorry, still waking up. I'm a little slow right now.
It's like the sun is not really out, so our body doesn't really know.
I don't know what time it is, really. But it is raw denim time, and we're here to hang out with the greatest raw denim community in the entire universe. Throughout every dimension, every multiverse, this is the greatest raw denim universe that could ever exist, and you're here with us live. We're going to talk about all kinds of raw denim topics, preview new products, definitely going to off topic somehow, some way. Somebody's going to throw me for a rant. Stick around for that, because it's going to happen. And we'll see where this live stream takes us today. Risa, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Great. It's better than good. I'm doing good. I'm just a little tired.
Yeah.
It's been a very packed week for us. It really seems like I say this often, but since the last stream until now, it feels like about 10 or 15 minutes.
Yes. We had a release the first time in a little bit of a while.
Yeah, so we're ramping up fall winter 2023
I think
releases.
Going forward, we're gonna have it weekly.
Yeah,
right? Like there's no empty week.
There's no empty week from here, basically until Christmas.
Yeah, and the fall.
And then we jump into spring and in the new year. So it's going to be a wild ride for us. We just released, for those people who are wondering, what was the release? It was the Herringbone Selvedge. Of course, I'm sure many of you probably knew that because we've been talking about it for a little bit. We dropped the YouTube video on Monday, a lot of Instagram posts about it. Is there a pair there? No?
I think it might be.
Maybe it's in the back.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll get it. Sure, thank you. So the Herringbone Selvedge came out today, so that's gonna be a fun one for a lot of people to enjoy. Risa's just grabbing a pair. We can show that off. But in the meantime, let's. You know what? Songji Pruitt, the Herringbone is Selvedge. You say I keep saying Herringbone Selvedge. I've noticed that I've said that on social media stuff, and it's not Selvedge. It's the Herringbone denim. It's just in my mind, in my vernacular. It's just Selvedge is just, I always say it, so it just keeps coming out like that. But it is not Selvedge. So thanks for pointing. A couple of people had to point it out. Thank you for that. But yeah, I've had a few slips of the tongue on that one by accident. So just be aware of that. All right, let's check in where everyone's checking in from. We've got a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, as always. Invis Ian's DC is in the house. Andy Hardy, greetings from Arizona. Welcome. The Toaster Pilot, hello from Wisconsin. Nice to see you. Melody Murray, hello from Tucson. Good to see you. Riff, good to see you, my friend. Hello from Chicago. Everybody's in the house. We've got Nick Pugh. Hello from Seoul. Annyeong Haseo, my friend. I hope you're doing well. We hope to go to Korea in sometime between now and the end of the year. Can't find it?
Can't find
it's okay. It's the Herringbone that was probably locked up in the vault somewhere. We got a lot of jeans everywhere. It's we live in a little bit of a we have a lot of clothes in our little home here. Sorry about that. Anyway, we'll show it off. We have pictures of it on the internet. We'll talk about that in a second. Songji, hello from New Orleans. Good to see you. Melting in Houston. That's Little Juanito. Little Juanito melting. It's probably quite hot out there. It's still quite hot out here in Japan as well.
Yep.
Dealing with like 90, 95, 100 degree weather basically every day. That's like 33 to 35. It's not letting up, but hopefully it'll let up soon. As we roll into September, hopefully we get into some of those cooler weathers out here. I know in Montreal and in the Northeast, we're starting to see a little bit of that cooler weather action
almost
rolling through. Yeah. It's next week's live stream. Are we going to be in September next week's live stream?
Yeah.
We are. So this is the last live stream of August. Unbelievable. Time is really flying by. Right. Abel Martinez, hi from Rockford, Illinois. Matthew Bradwell, greetings from the PDX. Good to see everybody representing from everywhere. Davey Boy, repping those slubby, naked and famous Firebirds in London, England.
Nice.
Great choice. Nice, slubby, flamey denim, the Firebird Selvedge. Okay. Clobber Online, are we seeing the Sea Islands? The Sea Island Selvedge is coming out next Friday.
Yeah.
So as we were talking about how between now and Christmas, we've got a full lineup. We've got a full listing of releases. We're still finalizing dates on stuff, but we have, anyways, for the next couple of weeks, I can at least talk about that. We've got, the Herringbone Selvedge, Herringbone Denim came out today. We've got the Sea Island Cotton coming out next Friday.
September 1st.
Yeah. And then on the 8th, we've got the Elephant 12. So for the next, from today and until, I guess, 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, however way you want to see that, 3 releases. Mm-hmm. Then I have a couple more planned. Probably like Sumi Ink, Camel Denim. Those are in the pipeline for a September release. Then we've got JoJo. Mm-hmm. We've got Elvira coming out in October. A lot of stuff, guys. So a lot of content we're working on. Risa and I have been just filming video, which I've struggled with a little bit this week. It's the sun is. We don't have a studio, as you guys know. We work with what we got here, and we got a lot of sunlight in our where we work. The sun's just been beating on me. So recording video with a bright, shiny sun.
Well, as long as it's consistent, it's fine.
Yeah. The clouds keep moving.
Yeah. Like it's been kind of a stormy weather, so like the clouds are like moving fast. So like from sunny to cloudy to sunny, it's just
And if anybody knows how to work a camera and stuff, like I'm setting my f-stop at a certain thing, and like at the start of the video it's great, but by the end of the video I'm like pitch black. So
yeah. And we tried to like block the sun and use the light, but then like we don't have enough lights at home.
It's a fine-tuned job. But yeah. Pedro writes, you do a fine job on those videos. I do my best. I wish they could be even better. But anyways, they do their job. Sometimes if the color or the brightness isn't perfect or vibrant enough, you understand why. I'm working with what I can do here. Andrew Vu writes, just picked up the True Guy Herringbone at Tate Yoko this morning. Good man. Let's head over to Tate Yoko because I want to show off a few things, some stuff that's going on right meow, as they say. So let's head over to Tate Yoko right now. Here we go. So the Herringbone Denim just came out today, available in Super Guy, Weird Guy, Easy Guy, True Guy. There is a chore coat on its way. It was supposed to arrive in our warehouse last Friday. It probably hit our warehouse today, but that just didn't give us enough time to get them online. So this will be available soon. So just wait for release information on that one. But the Herringbone Denim, a fantastic denim, $155, great price point for us. And of course, the real specialty about this denim is that zigzag herringbone weave pattern. From far, it looks like a pretty classic. Here you can actually see the stripes a little bit better. Maybe that flash is, it's the angle and the flash that's really helping it out. But in a lot of photos, it's sometimes not so clear that there's something going on here. And then when you look at it up close, you can really start to see that zigzag pattern show up. And I think it's going to be a very, very beautiful fading denim, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are able to do with them. And now on top of the Herringbone Denim, not Selvedge, keep saying it, Herringbone Denim coming out, we've got a couple things. This weekend at Tate Yoko and Naked Famous Denim NYC, we've got a buy any item, get a Naked and Famous Denim sweatshirt for 50% off. So half price on the sweatshirts if you buy anything. So if you buy the Herringbone Denim, go for it. If you buy a belt, go for it. You buy a knife, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Buy any item, get a sweatshirt for half price. So we've got a lot of great options here, a lot of different colors. We've got crew necks, pullover hoodies, zip hoodies. Have at it. The fall is coming. It's a great time to take advantage. Also, these ones, I think the 50% off applies on the sale price. So you could get these for really cheap. These are just the last of, so I'm happy to just kind of blow those ones out.
We're not killing it. We just change the fit a little bit.
Yeah.
So we have the slim crew that's in vintage double face. Those are the last offs.
Yeah. So grab them because like you could literally buy anything on the website. You can buy a pair of socks and get these, and it'll end up being really cheap. Just for your referencio, that's Italian for everybody for reference. Just add to cart, so you can add a pair of herringbone denim. Go over to here, and you can add a French tip. That's actually not in stock. That one's coming soon. So there, this guy over here. What size do I need? Medium, sure. Add to cart. And then once you're in the cart, the discount is automatically applied. So you see the herringbone denim is $155, and then instead of $178, you go down to $89 for the hoodie. So take advantage. This deal lasts this weekend. So by the end of the day, Sunday, the deal will no longer be active. So take advantage while you can. There's some good ways to get that for a very, very good price. And then another thing, if you watched the This Week at Tate and Yoko video, so we had a new video that dropped on our YouTube channel with the boys over there at Tate and Yoko. We have a new little section in our sales section called Last Chance, and this is essentially a lot of the like found items in our warehouse. So we've just specially, made a little collection for them. So these were maybe some more of the more sought after, rare pieces that people have been looking for, and they're available in this section. Now, there's often not much of them. So you can see some items, they show up and they sell out maybe quickly because there might have only been one or two. Like that one was available yesterday. So grab them while you can. Check back in this collection often. Because, like, those MIJs, I don't know, did we restock them? They sold out already? I'm not sure. Maybe they haven't been restocked fully yet. But check back often, because inventory in here is gonna turn fast, and you might find something that you've been looking for. The Vulgar 2, in fact, we had fuck no. Yeah, and hell no. So I think there's wasn't there a product video? No, I think I did that for Vulgar 3, maybe. 3, yeah, Vulgar 3. So that's what's happening at the shop. So there. Now you're up to date. You're up to speed on what's happening at Tate and Yoko. All right, back to the chat. Austin Fletcher, Japan Heritage Black here in Arkansas. 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a hot combination. 100 degrees and Japan Heritage Black. Good man. You're a trooper. Davey Boy, looking forward to that Camel denim dropping. Yes. So we've got two animals this season. We got the camel and we've got the elephant, of which I think we just have the camel here. We have the camel. We have the Sumi. It's okay. The elephant's probably in the back somewhere. But this is the camel denim. Very, very beautiful fabric. As you can see here, it's got a great. Hopefully the
color is not coming out so well.
Yeah, from here, from what I can tell, just the way my camera works, this is the authentic color. I think it's more honey colored, but the slub texture. Hold on, as I move it closer, it's gonna like change the color of this. You can see it's pretty slubby. Anyways, we'll have some real photos and stuff up. In the coming days, real photos on the Instagram, you can get a better idea of it. Yeah, it's just the metering of my. See, it's not great. There's no perfect camera solution out there, unless you have a studio. When you got the studio, then you can do whatever you want. But we don't. We're dealing with the natural light, the natural environment.
Not yet, anyways.
Yeah. One day. The flasher on those is amazing. Yeah, we do take pride in our flashers. I think this one came out really, really nice.
Yeah, I like that desert, color scheme.
Yeah. I also just like it anytime we have animals on our flashers.
Yeah, it's a little bit more catchier, cartoonier.
Pedro, I saw the Elephant 9 jacket was added. I was like, oh no, do I get the sorry. See, I can't read either. I saw the Elephant 9 jacket was added to the last chance. I was like, oh no, do I get this or the Elephant 12s? It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one. But if it's your size...
If it's your size and you like it, grab it. That's your last chance, probably, to get that jacket. The Elephant 12 jacket might be around for... I wouldn't say it's going to be around forever, but you might have... Anyways, how many... That's a good question. How many heavyweight elephant denim jackets do you need in your life? What is a man? I don't know. These are the questions that the world cannot answer.
Only you can answer that question.
Yeah. There was that song. Anyways, what makes a man? Anyways, I'm not going to sing. You won't hear that. But those in the chat, if you know what song I'm talking about.
Like this live stream.
Like the live stream. That's it. If you know what song I'm talking about, or if you like this live stream, hit the like button. That's some good advice from me to you, no charge, free. All right. Stu Fu for free. Hello from El Paso, Texas. Welcome. We're dealing with a lot of El Paso denim. Sorry, cotton.
They make a lot of good cotton.
A lot of good cotton from there. So good to see you, and thanks for joining the chat.
Yeah. Speaking of El Pasos,
you got some El
Paso, Texas.
Right, the Sea Island Cotton Selvedge.
Yeah.
This is Selvedge. Sea Island Cotton Selvedge. This denim is made in Japan, but the cotton is from El Paso, Texas. It's an American grown.
American Sea Island cotton.
Yeah.
Jeans.
Yes. These are coming out next week. A fantastic, super luxurious denim. We shot the video. Video's coming out on Monday. I'm very, very excited for that to come out. One of the softest, most luxurious denims I've ever come across.
It looks so rich. And the color.
The color is deep and inky. And it's really,
shiny.
what blew me away was the texture. When you put them on, for a raw jean, it really just feels like something else. It doesn't have... It's crispy, but it's smooth and soft and comfortable immediately. It really is something else. I say it in the video. You're going to hear... I mean, we did the video, so I'm kind of repeating myself, but you guys haven't seen the video yet, so it'll be a repeat of this. It's like a comfort denim without the stretch. If you know somebody who maybe they're not a raw denim person, but they just want a clean dark indigo denim, dad maybe, some like if you got a loved one who you want to get them into raw denim, that's just such an easy way to get them into it, and they're just going to be so happy with the quality and feel of this fabric. I think anybody, whether you're like if you hate the idea of raw denim, I think this one is one that will change your mind. Because the comfort level is just so high on that one.
Yeah, and Sea Island Cotton is one of the highest
quality cottons out there.
Is, yeah.
So excited for that one. Yeah, Milo writes, they look shiny. There's a bit of a sheen to them, I'd say. I'd say that's just because of the deepness of the indigo here. It is really drenched.
And the smoothness of the texture.
Yeah.
The price, somebody asked, is $246.
$246. So a little bit pricier than some of our other options, but you are paying for that ultra premium cotton here. And I think it's going to be quite noticeable. American Sea Island Cotton Selvedge coming not too long from now. Just a week. Clobber online writes, they look absolutely gorgeous. I think so as well. Milo17, scratch test. Let's do it. You don't have to wait for you guys don't have to wait for the video. In the video, we do a scratch test, but You can see it here. Very, very smooth texture denim. Before we get into the scratch test, in the chat, let us know, what do you think they're going to sound like? Is this going to be a bassy denim? Is this going to be, what are your predictions here? How fine-tuned have your ears become to the sounds of denim? Let's know. All right. Electric Bamboo back in the live stream after months. Good to see you here, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Topher Cobra, we're getting close to having at least one person from every state in the USA. Somebody's got to keep count. That would be great. It would be cool if there would be a tracker on the screen here where people would check in and then we try to fill in the map. Yeah. All right, Clobber Online. Sorry, it says still not bad. I'm not sure in reference to what. Pedro, softer than silk.
Silk will be silky. A little bit more drapier. Yeah. But for 100% cotton raw denim, this is very, very nice. And I suspect as you wash them and take the starch out, it will just be like...
Yeah. Drapey and nice and comfortable. This is the one. This is the one. If you're looking for comfort, this is the one. I might have to steal these. I'm working on my dirty fades. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I guess I mean...
You can have a nice jean for your nice outings.
I don't have nice outings.
And you can keep it kind of dark because you don't have that many nice outings. So you can just kind of...
But I'm going to want to wear these every day. I like wearing my dirty fades, but...
Also, to be fair, like, is this a weird guy?
I think it is.
Like, when it gets colder, you might want a leg opening to close up a little to keep the warmth in.
I don't know. We'll see. I might steal this sample. It might happen.
You only have 2 legs though.
That's true. I only have 2 legs, and I don't leave the house very often.
You can change that. You can leave it. You can hang out on the balcony.
Staying inside, where it's nice and cool. Okay, the scratch test will sound like a harp. Nick Pugh, I think you might have it.
Oh, we're supposed to scratch.
We're doing it. Okay, well let's hit it. Okay, so scratch test.
I mean, the weft sound.
The weft is it picks up.
Horizontal sound, it does pick up. I think it also depends on how your nails.
My nails are a little bit longer right now. But the warp, smooth.
Yeah.
Very quiet. Very. All right. Well, there you have it, guys.
Yeah.
Sea Island Cotton Selvedge. A smooth ride. Smooth sounding, smooth jazz. Designed for comfort. With an ultra premium American grown cotton. Mm-hmm. Okay. Pedro, so many good jeans. We try our best. There are a lot of options.
Yeah.
I apologize for those people who want them all. I often say you can't, unless you've got, Zuckerberg money. Or maybe you don't have to have Zuckerberg money, but somewhere between that and, I don't know.
What?
Like a regular, normal people probably spending $200 a week on jeans might be a bit much.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would say so. I couldn't do it. But, I don't know. If you're making a lot of money and a lot of money, then you could have everything. But you could have everything of everything. I don't know where I'm going with this. My point is that don't feel bad. Don't the FOMO. Don't let that get into your brain. Okay, if you miss something, we'll have more new good things on the horizon.
Right. Yeah.
So enjoy.
There will always be the jeans, the kind of jeans that you might want. We do different kinds of. We don't just do heavyweight. We don't just do slubby. We do a lot of things all the time.
Yeah.
Try to balance it out.
Right. So, that said, for a thing like this, if you like them, if you like this, I would stockpile it.
Stockpile it.
Yeah, maybe get another pair for, you know, one to rock and one to stock. As back in the old my old sneaker collecting days, one to wear and then one to, you know, back stock in case for your collection and or when you're like if you when like you something
wear down ones that
then you've got another one.
Especially with jeans, like you can't turn the fade back, you know.
And like for us, because our releases are limited, sometimes that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
But collecting for the sake of, you know, just having every fabric. Anyways, I'm trying. Brandon gave me a semi-update on tote bags. He says he's working on it again. So at the very least, we might be able to get some like tote bags out where you can at least, like if you just want the fabric, then there's an option for you to have the fabric. And like, you know, at some point you can have too many tote bags, but
right. But if you just want the fabric, just because you're a fabric fanatic, you don't have to pay the full jeans money.
Right.
And you can wear it
and you can use it all the time. And at least with a tote bag, you can fade it. Like just using a tote bag daily, like the fades will actually come through on that one. So you can enjoy that as well. So we're trying to find ways for those people who do want everything, but you know, obviously spending a lot of money every time is a lot. So try to throw out a few more options there for you. Pedro, with the way you are talking about fabric, makes sense to stock another one of that. Stock another of that one.
Cotton.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. Like again, down the line we'll do another. There'll be another iteration of it, probably.
It depends. I mean, if nobody buys this.
That's true. If nobody buys it, then it definitely won't. But if people really like it and, you know, there's demand for it, then we'll consider that one again.
Yeah.
The toaster pilot, I'm all in for the tote bags. Sergeant Snuggle elephant denim tote would be interesting. Yeah, I think that would be very interesting.
It would be just so heavy on its own. Like when you put stuff in it, it just get extra heavy.
If you're hauling wood, you know, taking some good bag for that. Real man.
Real man.
That's the answer. There you go. At the start of the like, what is a man? If you can haul wood.
In a 20 ounce.
In a 20 ounce denim bag. That's it. That's the definition. We figured it out, guys. Congratulations. See? Millions of years of philosophy, and we just figured it out in a live stream in just a few minutes. Congratulations. We solved another problem. Chris Griffin, hope you made enough for everybody to buy too. LOL. You sold all of us.
Yeah.
You know what? Buy 3, everybody. No. Don't. If you like it, consider it. You don't have to do that. James Jones, how does Sea Island cotton compare to Fox fiber? Fox fiber is
very different.
Yeah, very different.
So Sea Island cotton is an extra long staple fiber, which is, you know, what makes this denim very luxurious and silky smooth. It's you know, long staple, so it's more strong and soft. Whereas the Fox fiber is a short staple cotton. It's actually, in fact, you know, like it. With much effort, now it's long enough that you can make into yarns.
Yeah. That's kind of the miracle of Fox fiber, is that through generations and crossbreeding that they could turn this naturally colored cotton into a cotton that is usable for yarn production. Yeah. So, like, colored cottons originated in South America. They existed, brown cottons and, like, you know, slightly greenish cottons, things like that. But they were too small. The cotton fluffs were too small. The fiber lengths were too small to do anything with. And so in fact, Sally, who came across these, she came across the varieties that were growing in South America. She became enamored by them and basically made it her life's mission to make this a viable cotton for production. So through crossbreeding and generations and I don't know the entire science of it all, but she managed to make a fiber length that was strong enough that we can use it for actual yarn production.
Yeah.
And so, of course, the benefit of that, of fox fiber, is that you have a colored cotton that is natural. Yeah. So there's no dyeing, and she grows it organically as well. So there's a lot of good stuff built into fox fiber. But it is a different beast than like an ELS cotton. So yeah, different characteristics there. There was something else. We were talking to Sally not too long ago. There was something else in that story that I remember being enamored by, but I don't remember right offhand. I'm sure it'll hit me. Actually, in fact, Sally sent me an email. I have to respond to her. I haven't responded yet. Sorry if you're watching this, Sally. But she's coming to Tokyo soon, and we're gonna meet up with her.
Very excited.
Very excited for that. I'm gonna see if I can. Anyways, it might be. I'm just throwing it. It might be a long shot, but if we can get her for a live stream, I think that would be neat. I don't know how doable that is. We do these kind of early in the morning. But at the very least, maybe we could do a little short interview with her and have something up for the Naked and Famous channel, just to talk with Sally. She is it's so interesting to speak to the grower.
And she's so passionate, and she's also very interested in not only like what she does, but she also wants everybody to know about this.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I think they do great work, but they're like in their world. Whereas Sally wants to, put it out there, which is great. So that's why she would,
right. How many in all of our career, like we never talk to the grower, right? You never talk to the grower. You don't even. That is not even a consideration. But like, she is a nerd for cotton growing, as we are for denim fabric, right? So, and
she's very knowledgeable too. She's been doing this for a long, long time in her entire life.
70s.
She was a child when she was like starting to hand spin.
Yeah, she started off as a hand spinner.
Yeah.
And she still does that, but that's basically where it came from. And so just to learn so much about cotton and how it's grown and all of that stuff, it really makes you think about all the different ways that you can use the cotton to really bring out the characteristics of those cottons when you're creating fabric. So, this is it's another step, and I'm glad that we're there. And I'm no expert in that field. I'm learning as much as I can. I'm obviously trying to share as much of that information with you guys as possible. But yeah, cotton growing, very, very fascinating. We have someone here even in the chat from El Paso where a lot of the premium American cotton is grown. Arif writes, is Sea Island similar to Giza 45? Giza cotton. So a lot of Giza 45, Giza, I think there's Giza 80. There's a lot of Giza varieties. So Giza cotton there are Egyptian cottons that were grown in Egypt for many, 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 many years. Mm-hmm. But the 45 variety has its roots in Sea Island cotton. So Sea Island cotton originated in the Caribbean, and it was basically the original extra long staple fiber. That cotton variety got exported all around the world, and through crossbreeding, through the way things evolve in different environments, that's how Giza 45 was developed. So Giza cotton, Giza 45 and other maybe Giza variety types of extra long staple quality have its DNA roots in Sea Island cotton. And so even with the American Sea Island cotton, I don't go super in depth because, we do these videos unscripted, and there's just a lot to remember. Yeah. And sometimes if I'm, it's hard for me to remember everything as I say it. And so sometimes I
wrong information.
Right. So sometimes I dumb it down a little bit, but in these live streams, obviously I can be a little bit more off the cuff. But with the American Sea Island cotton, it was grown in America it was exported from the Caribbean,
1800s.
From the 1800s, and then 1800s. In like the early 1920s, I think it was, they stopped growing it, and it was reintroduced in the early 2000s into America. And from there, through, these cotton science institutes and things like that, they redeveloped it. And it became, through their breeding programs, even better, longer and stronger than the original Sea Island cotton variety. So that's really what makes the American Sea Island cotton, like, the best. Also, just in terms of, like, American production, American production for cotton is really high. A lot of people don't realize this, but it's the reason why American cotton production is of such high quality is just simply because of technology and innovation, right? They've been able, because cost of living and everything like that in America is high. You can't do things on the cheap. So in order to be competitive with the world, they've just developed incredible technologies to make all of their growing processes just absolutely the most efficient. Yeah. And one of the things that I think is really neat about Sea Island cotton and other high-end varieties that are grown in America is that they grow them at high elevation. So one thing that's high elevation to keep it cool, but you get a lot of sunlight during the day. So you get a lot of sunlight from that Texas heat. It allows the cotton to grow really, really fast. And then at nighttime, because it's, semi-desert climate, it gets cool. It gives the plant time to relax and recover.
It also, lets the bugs, the bugs don't, roam, they don't take over because of that coldness.
Right.
It's kind of keep it to the minimum.
Yeah. So especially when you're growing organic, it really helps to keep the pests away. Oh yeah, this is Bezad rant mode, just going off in a lot of directions. The one thing I remember that Sally talked about with the South American varieties of cotton, because they were exposed to a lot of pests, and those colored cotton varieties that originated in South America, they're very tough. So as she brought them into North America and started growing them, they were much more resistant to pests and things like that. So I thought that was a neat aspect of the cotton as well. And then the other cool thing about growing it up at higher elevations and in the colder temperatures is that when it comes to harvesting, the cold temperatures, sorry?
Killing frost.
Yeah, they call it the killing frost, and it naturally defoliates the cotton plants so that there's less. You don't have to use chemicals to get rid of the leaves and things like that, so that you can process the cotton much more cleanly, and yeah, we're learning a lot about that stuff.
Yeah, and it's the obviously growing cotton in America costs a lot more money, but the quality is high, and they also are able to use machinery for
picking
for a lot of things. So it's it's still competitive. It's not obviously if you make clothes in India versus America, the cost is very, very different. It's not that different because at the end of the day, the machines are taking care of a lot of things, and that the quality is consistent enough that you don't have to waste a lot of cotton that's not up to the standard.
Yeah. A rephrase. Does hand picking make any difference, or is that a gimmick?
It's not a gimmick.
It's not entirely a gimmick.
It's not a gimmick, but it's not necessarily always better.
Yeah. So there are some cotton variety types. They call it the first flash. So the first buds that show up tend to be the longest and the highest quality. The cotton puffs. So when you're picking, it's hard to have machines go and do that. So if you want to just separate the literal best quality cotton of the new crop, you have to go in and hand pick it. But a lot of places, that's not their intention. Right?
It's just they don't have the machinery.
They don't have the machinery.
Machines are insanely expensive.
They don't have the technology to maintain it. They don't have the people with the know-how. So,
and I think it just ends up being more costly for them to have a machine versus have people just picking them all day.
Yeah. So there are a lot of countries where, that's, fruit picking, cotton picking, that's still a big industry for them. And it hasn't come to the point where technology is going to be a more efficient option for them, right? America has gotten to that point, and because of that, they are able to produce a very, very high quality cotton and keep it priced competitively with the world. So there's that as well. So we're big fans of America and American cotton.
No, I really love that. Like lately, we have been able to. I mean, we've been in the industry for a long time, and there's a lot to learn about denim itself still. But we're able to get into closer to the raw material these days, and we're really learning a lot about cotton and how it's made and stuff like that. So. It's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Anthony Doan. I'm just loving this. We're all geeking out on cotton and the aspect that goes into it.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
You never really
farming is interesting in general.
But also it's so cool the way that you incorporate science into the agriculture and all that stuff.
For Fox Fiber or Sea Island Cotton, Ultimate Pima, there are these cotton varieties that this generation has this properties, and then we're learning about even the generational property changes. This is a variety of cotton type that is still getting better, right? It's amazing right now, but over the last couple of years, the crops have produced this type of quality and that type of quality, and the fiber length and the strength, things like that. And it's wow, that's really fascinating to know that, I guess we're so used to, I don't know, how do you feel about the quality of your fruit and vegetables these days? Does it taste the same? Because the reality is that your cotton farmer and the scientists who are in these breeding programs are well, we've developed this apple to be like this because this is what people like, or tomatoes are really red and big, but they don't have any flavor anymore.
Well, the first introduction for me to learn about these efforts that people do to make everyday things better was strawberries and with strawberries I watched a mini documentary about the people who have spent their lives basically trying to get a white strawberry that tastes good. And it's insanity. The amount that they and we still all like red strawberries better. Yeah. But it's just I find it fascinating that people are so obsessed with this idea of white sweet strawberries.
So for those people who don't know, in Japan, you can buy a ghost white strawberry, and it tastes like a strawberry. They're $10 a pop. They're not cheap. But what I love about it is that, it's just without the obsessiveness of it's just one person. You know what I mean? It starts off with one person who's this is what I want to do. And it's a crazy idea. And the people are going to tell him, where's the market for this? Who are you trying to... No, I'm interested in this. I like it. I want to do it, and I'm going to do it. And through that... we have this thing, and it's well, now it's a thing, and now people want it. Now there's demand for it. You can't always predict what people are gonna want,
right?
But if you desire it, and you're a nerd for this kind of thing, these kind of people make the best things. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I've seen on, like, Instagram, just, like, people who are obsessed about the most mundane items. But the fact that their, like, heart and passion goes into making, like, a carabiner, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah, it's just a carabiner. But for some people, it's not just a carabiner. Like, I use these every single day, so I want to have the best possible one, over-engineer it. And I'm like, I love it.
And it kind of changes people's lives, like going back to the fruit making, like, you know, like I remember, like, I think North America had seedless grapes for a long time, but in Japan, like, it's kind of a newer thing. Like, when I was a kid, all the grapes had seeds. We just have to be careful not to swallow them. But, like, I look at my, you know, like, niece, and, like, she doesn't know that there are grapes that have seeds, that you have to spit it out.
Oh, right.
Like, it's amazing how, like, you know, it's so much better. Like, it's just seeds, whatever.
Yeah.
Take it out and still enjoy the fruit. Sure, but it really changed people's lives.
You know, speaking of grapes, we were at a meeting this week, and then we just happened to stop by this luxury fruit store, and boy, oh boy, man. They had, like, it was, how much were those mangoes? I gotta check my phone. I took pictures of it.
I think $100 and something.
It was crazy.
Well, I think the grapes there was probably the best.
They were like $200 grapes.
And they're so big. They're, like, perfectly shaped, shiny.
Yeah, it was, they're, like, that's it.
Yeah,
it was
like, it's
like a $160 US, $200 Canadian, basically, for
just for the one
mango. Not three mangoes, one mango. I mean, this is not the craziest, but this is like basically $120 Canadian, maybe $80 US, like watermelon. That was up there. These are some $43 peaches. Look at how they package these things. There is not a bruise on this thing. It is just cushioned like you can't believe. And then just look at the perfection of these grapes. They're $170 Canadian, and there is not a blemish on a single grape here. They're all perfect.
But also next to this, they had this, like, grapes that are like purple grapes and green grapes
individually packed.
Individually, like in it's like a little
foam.
Yeah, like cupcake kind of thing. It's like it had, like, in the box it had, like, whatever, I don't know, 15, 20 grapes. So you don't even have to
like pluck it.
Yeah.
They just had it already ready for you. So anyways, this all just goes back to farming the best.
Yeah.
And, you know, people who are obsessed with the things that they do. I mean, the growers who grow this stuff, their specific job is, we're going to produce, like, not a lot of grapes this year, but every grape that we produce is going to be of the AAA high quality variety, and that's it. You know, when they're growing the grapes on the vine, they're cutting off all the other, you know, they're probably cutting off all the extra stuff so that all the nutrients are just going to this one bunch, right? So it's a lot of skill and effort and know-how. I've seen them when they grow the apples, like the perfect apples, they turn them. So that there's like, perfect evenness on all sides of color.
And the apples, that when you just let it grow the way they are, like, there's always the side that gets more sun, and there's always the side that just stays less red.
Yeah.
But no, you can't accept that. Yeah. It all has to look
They're cutting the leaves around it to make sure that the nutrients are going into the apple. They're turning them. They're just every single day. That's their job. Just make sure that there's not a unevenness of color at all. We're making $30 apples. That's it.
Anyways, all this to say that we're fascinated about people who obsess about certain things, and cotton, because, you know, we're in this industry, like, we're fascinated with cotton and people who just live that life.
Yeah. It's amazing. All right, back to the chat. The Curious Sailor. I was stationed in Yokosuka, and the fruits are the best tasting. No blemishes because I know they are handpicked and they are expensive, but they were all worth it. Right. Yeah. So if you're like shopping at like a regular grocery store, like the fruit quality here is very high. So they'll have like the regular fruit that's pretty like very high quality. Then they'll have like the fancy fruit, which is a little bit more pricey. And then you go to a store like this one where it's like
luxury.
That's god tier fruit.
Yeah.
It's not for regular unless you're Zuckerberg money. That's not everyday consumption. That's really like it's gift.
It's gift.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's just also this place is not it's not a supermarket. It's a fruit store that have like one of the highest rent like area, like it's basically Fifth Avenue kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ground floor, amazing big space.
Yeah.
They just sell fruits.
Yeah.
And cakes.
Yeah.
And stuff. But like it's just they're selling on the luxury of fruits.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much the rent is there, but
and like when they had grapes, I mean they had like 5 boxes of grapes. Like they didn't have like 50 boxes of grapes. They maybe had a few in the back, but like there's not a lot.
Yeah,
like,
and then also there are people who can help you. Like if
there's a salesperson there.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you about this mango. Yeah. Like there is a salesperson there to tell you about that mango. But yeah. Okay, Topher Cobra. For the vegan patch options, they have vegan leather and vegan apple leather. For $8, I'll put them on for you. And they'll put them on for you. That's true. On Tate Yoko, if you are leather adverse, we have some vegan options for you. We have it's called Durango. It's like a cardboard leather patch substitute. You might find that on, there are brands out there that use it. The big famous one with 2 horses uses that type of material. There is also a vegan leather made of apple leather. So it's like it's apple. It's actually apples that are formed into like a leather-like material, and there's no animal product in that.
Yeah.
Okay, Dylan Grindall, can you talk about or show the kimono shirt and the true Sakiori Selvedge? I don't have. We have the fabric.
We do have the fabric.
Yeah, we can show the fabric, but I don't have the garment. We're making very few of those. Very few. I think less than 20. It's a very, very expensive item. Yeah. And it's hell to sew, by the way. Not very easy to sew because this fabric is very, very loose. Anyways, Risa's just grabbing it out of the back, and we'll show it to you. I think we've shown it off a little bit before, but very, very interesting fabric. Okay. Rice W5 strawberries in the UK usually look great but taste bland. But the good flavor ones are so nice. Yeah, it's very hard with fruit these days. I feel like a lot of it is engineered to look good, and taste isn't always there.
But also fruit with like taste is like a gamble. Like,
yeah.
And that's also like the point of those fruit stores sometimes too.
Oh, there's
like,
no gamble.
There's no gamble. It's guaranteed that the sweetest, grape or strawberry or whatever that you've ever tasted.
Yeah. Do they have samples, do you think?
Not for you.
Okay.
All right, so let's
True
review this.
Sakiori Selvedge.
They went through a couple of like, because it's so difficult to make this fabric. They went through a couple of versions of this. I am not 100% sure if this is the latest, but I think it is. I think it does seem like the latest version. Anyway, so Sakiori, as people
may or may not know.
Yeah. It's the art of making like recycling fabric, old school Japanese way. So like if you have a ripped fabric, you shred them to thin pieces and you weave them to make a new fabric. So these are not recycled fabric where like people just wore it and shred it to pieces or anything like that. But these are the indigo dyed fabric strips that we use for a warp. So these are already a fabric, but it's just a strips, and then make a fabric with the weft that is a white version of the strips. So it is like denim, but it's like an exaggerated
It's like
form.
if you looked at denim in a microscope, this might be what it would look like.
Except that each one is a yarn instead of a fabric strips. This is also like a true selvage, so it has the self edge. It's, it also looks like, denim selvage.
This is crazy, by the way.
Extremely hard to make. They had to add like the backing yarn on the back, otherwise this is just gonna fall apart as you wear it, obviously, because it's it's so loose. It
is a very delicate fabric, by the way.
Usually when you see a Sakiori fabric nowadays, like that are produced,
this one's much better than the original sample.
Because of the backing. But the reason why you see a lot of Sakiori fabrics that are produced, not like a real Sakiori, but like a Sakiori fabrics that are used for consumer products, is like you see these like these enforcing yarns throughout. Like they use that woven into the fabric. We only use that in the back so that we didn't want because we wanted to still keep it like a real denim. Like real denim construction, and just to fortify it, we added at the back. But
anyways, that's it. We're gonna make a kimono shirt out of this, which I think is the most appropriate thing to make out of this. I think jeans out of this might have been a little.
I think
it would have been a little too insane.
But this is indigo dyed, so it will fade as you rub on things or wash them. If you get a hold of this item, please be careful. It's
gonna snag on everything.
It's very delicate. But it's just insanity how they were, how how we were able to recreate denim out of all these like insane old school techniques.
And this wasn't something that we developed. No. This was one of our mills that we work with, and this was one of the, sometimes when we'll go to a trade show, we'll meet them in their office or something, and they've got oh, look at what we made. It's kind of like a
idea,
like a concept.
In a car show, you see a crazy cool car, and you never see that in the market.
This is exactly that. This was the concept car, and he was like, "Oh man, look at what we made. It's really really cool." Blah blah blah. And they obviously have these things to show people, to show oh, look at how innovative and how powerful we are creating new fabrics. And then you order some of their more mainstream stuff. And we were like, "Oh yeah, we'll buy the concept car." It's sometimes it's very dangerous to show us your craziest thing, because we're gonna buy it. So this was one of those situations where we're gonna buy it, and we're gonna bring it out to you. Very, very difficult for them to make this fabric for us, so thank you for them to do that. Sewing is difficult, and there's gonna be a very small production of kimono shirts. It's a very expensive piece.
I was thinking every time there's always people who want everything to be perfect. If one of those people get a hold of this fabric, it will break their brains.
Yeah, it probably will. What was the inspiration? Well, the inspiration was original Sakiori fabric, so fabric made from fabric, but we made denim made from fabric made from fabric. It's an inception thing there. Okay. Also, Risa, before I'm just talking about vegan leathers, also cactus leather. I don't know how good it is, but it's a cool name. I've heard of cactus leather. That might be something we should look into as another vegan option. There's also, I don't know how vegan you might consider it, but there's also fish leather.
Yeah. We used an eel leather.
Eel skin we've used before. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess
they have salmon.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the vegan rules are.
Like right. It's not technically vegan.
Yeah. If it's
pescatarian.
Pescatarian? I don't know.
I always get that one and the
Presbyterian.
Yeah. Confused.
Pescatarians and
Presbyterian.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is it?
Presbyterian is that's a religion. It's a form of Christianity. And the pescatarian. Pescatarians, if you're a pescatarian Presbyterian. Yeah, that's a tongue twister right there. Hopefully you find your partner as well that works out. Mm-hmm. We're a couple of pescatarians. All right. So this material you probably only bought as little as a manufacturer could economically produce. One roll in quotation and captions there. Do you ever save some of these more expensive and niche fabrics for use later?
No, we didn't just buy as little as the manufacturer could produce. That's kind of the that was kind of the issue with it, because we did buy the sample roll, and we bought the sample roll, and then we went to production with it. So production is not just one roll. Production is a certain amount, and that's where the issue became, because they have made sample rolls before. They just have never, they did not have the production run before. And it's that a lot of the times the problem arises, you think you made one, you should be able to make, a lot more. That's not how it usually works.
Sometimes you can make one and then the rest of it becomes difficult. But yeah, anytime we order from a manufacturer, they might say, okay, well, here's the sampling, and then you have enough fabric to make a sample or two. Mm-hmm. And then the minimum for production is the minimum for production. Here's how much you need to order in order for us to go forward with this. And so it's never just one roll. That's not how it works. And even for sampling, it's never one roll. But anyways.
It depends. Yeah. But that's the reason why sampling they charge a lot more, because it's an effort to make just one, obviously, but also they could make a perfect one, whereas production each effort is taken a lot more seriously, because they don't have the they have to charge less if they're they're in bulk. And
Mike C writes, are there any plans to release a grayish smoky colored denim? We have the black by gray stretch Selvedge. That's pretty smoky. But I would say that the answer is a hard maybe.
Hard maybe.
Yeah, hard maybe. Where's the black by gray? So this is pretty smoky, if you ask me. I think we might need to restock these. I don't know how much fabric we have left. It's a black by gray. It's a pretty smoky denim. Black warp, gray weft. That's not the greatest on model fit photo, but maybe down the line we'll have another maybe more hardcore traditional raw denim version of this at some point. But for now, that's your best bet from our offering. Okay. Topher Cobra, snowy denim. The snowy denim is going to be. It is going to be a black and gray and gray denim. Gray and gray. Not just so smoky. Snowy. Yeah, just like snowy. Just a gray.
It's kind of like heather gray, because it has it's the kasuri denim basically, so it's just have the different shades of gray.
Yeah. David Dixon. Is that a Japanese maybe, which really means no? Yeah, Japanese maybes are usually no. But my hard maybe was not a no. That was a hard maybe.
Hard maybe is not committing.
Yeah. I'm not saying no.
Non-committing, yes, I think.
Yeah, it's a non-committal. But yeah, if you ever deal in business here in Japan, maybe means...
They never say no.
Maybe means no.
They have something saying no.
Yeah.
Too harsh.
Yeah, it's very harsh.
But it's like even when it's hard no,
yeah,
they have difficulty saying no.
Yeah.
And so if you're not used to this kind of,
yeah,
things, if you literally if you're a literal person, you don't get it and you feel like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a chance there still.
Yeah. Or
so that this gets confusing.
Yeah. Right. So you have to read between the lines a little bit.
But I do think that the success of Naked and Famous partially is due to this thing where they just don't know how to say no, and Brandon and they just don't, now you understand it, but in the beginning you didn't understand it, so you push it, you said maybe, it's difficult, but it's not impossible.
And so they find themselves in the situation where it's like, oh, I don't want to say no. And it's like, all right, well, here we are. Love Butter writes, when going into production like this fabric, are you saving some to make more of something else in the future, since this is a weird fabric? There might be a little bit.
I think Brandon wanted to save a roll for his archive collection, but I don't think we're gonna I don't think we're saving enough to make more of something. Sometimes
we keep a little bit of fabric around. It's really not our intention generally. Sometimes there are certain fabrics where we know we have to keep this forever. This is just something that we have to hold and have. But some fabrics, we might do a production run, and then what we'll do is based on how many orders and stuff that we get, we'll produce, and we still have some excess fabric in stock. Because I don't want to produce more than what was ordered, really. And then later on, as that style has sold down and maybe we have sold out sizes and things like that, we'll do a fill-in run, and then do a production run to just fill in on the missing sizes or whatever. So, that's how that works. It's not always. Sometimes we have fabric, sometimes we don't. Sometimes, what'll happen is maybe we'll sell X amount of jeans, and they'll deliver 75% of the fabric. Right? It happens. Or sometimes they're oh, we actually overproduced it a little bit. Will you accept the extra? And we'll say, yeah, we'll take it, because whatever, we're happy to work with you. It's just the way it works sometimes. Smash and Bottles, I want to maybe get a pair of the Royal Black during the Labor Day sale. Well, Smash and Bottles, I would say that you should wait until the Labor Day sale.
Labor Day sale is coming
Wednesday. Next Wednesday, the 30th. So instead of a 24-hour special, we're going to do a Labor Day sale to celebrate all our mothers who went into labor for us and birthed us. So thank you
a little bit of
to all the... No.
Sure.
It's normal. But yeah, thank you, moms. It's second Mother's Day. I think that's what it's for. So without going into labor, none of us would be here. Thank you, labor. You've saved us again. Labor Day mom jeans sale event. Yes.
Is that... It's not the same exact word, is it?
I think it's the same word.
Is it the same word?
It has just two meanings.
It's two, in America, labor is L-A...
Yeah, that's just an American spelling.
Yeah, but if you're giving birth in America, do they spell it?
I think they spell it the same.
Same?
Yeah.
It is labor.
Yeah, Pedro writes, no test tube babies here. No, even test tube babies have to be born. They have to be born. You have to go through the birth canal. You have to go. Labor must have been given in order for you to be birthed.
At least all of us who are, here now.
Yes.
Maybe in the future, who knows?
Who knows? And we're not talking about then. We're talking about now. Giving birth to great prices. Giving birth to great prices. James and Keating, that is the one. Wednesday. Our Labor Day sale. We are giving birth. Yeah. It's great prices. I love it. I need to have a big giant checkered suit and like a hey, do an infomercial.
It's like it's a great. We can make a great jingle out of that.
Yeah. Wednesday. Come on down to Tate Yoko. We're having our Labor Day event where we are giving birth to low prices. I don't have anything else to add to that. I thought of a really bad. I'm not even gonna say it. It's too bad. It's too hot. It's too spicy for YouTube. It's a good joke. I have to say it in private though. Bad. It's bad. You guys can imagine where it's going. It's going into a dark place. I'll let your mind is gonna be. It's gonna tell you. It's gonna be much worse. Smashing Bottles, like in the continuation of your April Fool's gags. We didn't do an April Fool's this year, right? No, we didn't have time for it.
Yeah.
We got to think about next year. Mm-hmm. Jordan from the county got a pair of red gradient in Weird Guys today. Really excited to see how they fade. Well, you're going to enjoy those, I promise you. The red gradient core will produce some excellent fading results. They've got excellent fading properties.
Yeah.
James and Kidding, my mind is racing on how to change the subject. Hey, are those Sumi ink Selvedge back there? They are. In fact, good eye. We've got them right here. The Sumi ink coated Selvedge is right here. What a great segue to. In fact, it is a good segue because you were talking about the red gradient core as a great fading, alternative fading option. Yeah. This is another great option for you as well.
More like fading for a different results kind of experience.
And we can talk about how different production methods can result in different fading types. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's the rope-dyed indigo denim, which everybody by now I think understands. And with the red core, it basically falls into the same line as rope-dyed faded denim. Right, yeah. Because what we're using is the same concept. So we're taking a yarn that's been reactive dyed to a permanent color, and then indigo rope dyeing on top of it. So the way that the jeans fades exactly the same, but of course with the color core, you've got that color surprise inside instead of a traditional white cotton core yarn.
Yeah.
With the Sumi ink, we've got a black denim. That's black because it's coated with black Japanese calligraphy ink. So we take a traditional rope-dyed indigo denim, coat it with black. The black coating fades away, reveals the indigo underneath. Then the indigo will fade to white. So you've got a bunch of different color mixes in here. It might be hard to see, but on the edges, you can see a little bit of the blue kind of peeking through. But you'll get yours when you get yours. You'll probably have a smudge or two here and there. But yeah, this is just going to be an incredibly fading jean. We haven't done this in years. Mm-hmm. It was a jean that I wore a lot back when we originally released them. If you watch the Fall Winter 23 preview video, I show off my pair in that one. So if you're looking for just a very interesting fading option, another fading option that starts with black, because of the color core series, we actually can't do a black warp. You know what would be crazy? Color core Sumi ink coated. Jeez, that'll be crazy.
You know what I would like
Oh
to
my
see?
God, that's gotta happen. Red core Sumi ink coated.
That's a lot of colors.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I would love to see is when they're dyeing our color core yarns.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of rope dyeing process, in our career, but I've never seen a color yarn going into the indigo dips. That would be something to see.
Yeah. Melody Murray writes, what black denim fades the slowest?
Slowest?
Black denim in general fades slowly.
Yes.
I
think the sulfur dye is similar to indigo, but indigo, I think there's a reason why denim is indigo. It's just the fading is just it's much.
If you treat your black jeans like you treat your raw denim jeans and wear them every day, wear them hard, they're gonna fade. But say like the solid black selvage, if you wear it sparingly, they're not gonna, like, I've faded them and they take a lot of work, but that was with a lot of work. You could keep those pretty black. Maybe it's, we did a forever blue denim, which we're gonna redo. We're gonna do another reactive dye dark indigo denim. Now they're not like, they'll still fade a little bit. They're just,
it's like any other item of your clothing. Like, it will fade, but it doesn't fade like jeans. It's
right. If we did a black denim in the same vein where it was just like forever black, like just
I mean, that's also one of the like most requested things. I feel
just a black denim that stays
and I can understand.
Black.
Yeah, like black pants. Maybe you just want it jet black always.
Yeah,
I get it. What is the slowest fading? I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to tell. But like, like black posturage, I don't think it fades that much, honestly.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
James and Keating writes, my future trunks Selvedge, that was from the Dragon Ball collection, are my most faded pair. The time spent fading black denim is worth it, folks. Absolutely. I think it's nice to have a faded black pair in your collection, in your assortment, but it does take more effort than an indigo pair, that's for sure. Okay. Nick Spark writes, Naked Famous pop-up where everybody brings their pants for a fade-off in person would be cool. That would be cool. Maybe we'll do that at our New York store or Tate Yoko one day. That'll be a fun little event. We really don't throw too many events. One time, when I was in New York last, so that was in January, we did a little hangout meet and greet. So we invited a bunch of people. A bunch of people came down. It was great to see you guys there. But maybe next time. Maybe next time. Fade off. Claude Jean, a reissue of the Toxic Denim will be great. I already have two pairs that are fades that have faded really great. The Toxic Adventure Denim was very, very nice. I don't know if we have any of that left in stock. It probably won't be reissued. That seems like more of a one and done for me. David Dixon, a walk-off like Zoolander. Just like Zoolander. Exactly like Zoolander. I've never seen Zoolander 2. There is a Zoolander 2. I never saw it.
I think I knew that, but yeah.
And nobody talks about that one.
What happens?
I don't know. No idea. It's kind of like, I like the movie Super Troopers. And Super Troopers 2 came out, which I enjoyed, but nobody talks about Super Troopers 2. We have it. We have Super Troopers 2. You know what I love about Super Troopers 2 is that it's very it's super Montreal. Like it's like the French Canadianness of it is great.
Very kind of relatable.
Yeah, we saw that in theater. I remember that was a fun one. Tover Cobra, any previews this week? We've been previewing all live stream. What's going on here? You know what? If you appreciate the previews that we've had, hit the like button, everybody. Now's a great time. We've settled into this chat. There's 106 of us sitting right now together watching. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it's the right thing to do. It's free also. Free to do. And no charge. All right. I see those likes going up, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate the love. Okay. Juan Puedo just came in. What were the previews? Well, we previewed the Camel Denim. We previewed the Sea Island Cotton Selvedge, the Sumi Ink, the real Sakiori denim. So a lot of great previews. True Sakiori denim.
Selvedge denim.
True Sakiori Selvedge denim. So a couple. We'll have to watch a little bit in the replay there. Okay. Dun. Okay. Koza Dragos writes, any pink weft denim coming? I know that I have a little bit of the Sakura Sky fabric on hand. We're going to do refill of that one probably next spring. So that's probably going to be the next pink weft option to look out for. So yeah, that's what's in the works. Okay. What makes Chris writes, what makes the MIJ series different other than the country of origin?
Oh, there's a lot of difference. The fits are the same or similar at least, but the biggest difference probably is that for MIJ we do unsunfurized denim, tempe treated, so you don't have to worry about the crazy shrinkage of unsunfurized denim, but yeah, you can still enjoy the texture of unsunfurized jeans.
Yeah, so it's not just a simple wash dry. Like if in North America, if you do a rinse wash jean, they're gonna basically put the jeans in a giant washing machine, industrial size, put 50, 80, 100 pairs of jeans in there, and then they put it in a giant dryer and you're done.
Yeah, which makes the fabric very soft.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is more like a home laundry and
sun dry.
Like obviously laundry machines are not home laundry machines, but like the method is that like you just rinse it and then you hang it like outside or hang it like a regular
line
clothing.
dry.
Yeah. So it kind of crisps up the fabric. Yeah. So it's not soft like a typical rinse wash denim.
So this is a rinse washed denim, right? That's what happens. It's a nice feeling, great texture, but a lot of flop, right?
Yeah.
This is tempe treated. It's balancing, but you can tell the difference here.
I'm sure people have hanged something like a towel or something, and it's just it comes out kind of crispy. Yeah. That's basically the idea here.
So you've got that. Then you've got construction detail differences. Like you've got the two-tone stitching here. You can see that on the regular Naked Famous line, single-tone stitching. Here we do the vintage style two-tone stitching. We've got raised belt loops, so there's a little bit more texture. The belt loops are folded over so that there's just a little bit more fading, property there on the belt loop itself. Real copper hardware on for the rivets. 100% iron buttons. These are all made for us in Japan here, custom made for us. You've got this button's a little bit tight, but hold on a second. Gotta get that off. You know what? I'm not gonna get it off. But I just don't want to. There's a V stitching here as well. Another little vintage detail. Selvedge fly.
Hidden
rivets on the back. And then you also have the micro busted out seam. So right here you can see the out seam is very, very narrow, and that's in contrast to a more traditional American style denim with a wider selvage out seam. So there's a lot of construction detail differences that we put into the MIJ line. A lot more vintage kind of inspired details.
Then we also have the
the embroidery.
The maple leaf embroidery. Kind of a really nice maple leaf.
Yeah.
And obviously the leather patch, the logo is Japanese. The girl is Japanese manga inspired art. So there's a lot of difference here. Yeah. But I think the idea for us is that when Naked and Famous, we value. We offer great value, and there was a certain price point that we want to hit with that. Whereas with Made in Japan, we're not cutting any corners. We're doing all the extra things that people might not necessarily always want. Only maybe the nerdiest of the denim people might want. That costs money. We just put it in there.
Yeah, there's the price point for an MIJ jean is the price point. Yeah. Whatever it comes out to is That's what it comes out to. Whereas in Naked and Famous, like, we have a range that we want to work within. So those are some of the considerations that we do for that. But like Chris Griffin says, I remember you saying the hidden rivets make a bulk of the price for them. Something about your producer said that you could make it for half the price without that one detail. I wouldn't say half the price,
no.
But
it does make a significant difference. Yeah.
Every little thing costs more on the MIJs.
Yeah. The fabric also, like, we're choosing like expensive fabrics too.
So the MIJ line is for those, with maybe a little bit more elevated tastes, or people who want no compromise, right? You have a jean with 0 compromises in them, that's it. And so that's the difference between, that's not a knock at like the mainline Naked and Famous collection. I think we jam pack so much value into the price point, whereas like the MIJ jean is not about value. It's about, specking it out.
It's still a good value. It's just that, like, we're not so married to a price point at all.
I still think our prices are good for these. Don't get me wrong. Like
value for the price is good. The price in itself is higher.
Yeah, like you want to laugh. Go to like any luxury brand's website and like look at what they charge for jeans. Just that, like a product like this. Like, this is the Green Cast Ao Midori. This is going to be the MIJ 12.
That comes out after 13.
Yeah, it comes out after 13. But anyways, all that goes into this, and this is going to be under 300, I think.
I think so.
Maybe around 300 or just under 300. Versus, like, what you get for, like, $900 over at, somewhere else. Or $1,200. Like, I've seen, like, it's insulting to me. This is my favorite rant, is like the luxury world providing no luxury, or very, very, very little luxury. There are certainly some like high end products that they make, but like the bulk of what they make is just we're making mass produced products at luxury prices for mass consumers who want to be associated with our brand. That's it. Like, the $900 jean is a lot of money. It is. But, like, maybe it's not a lot of money to buy into that brand. And now I have something from that brand. Although that product was worth less than a third or a quarter of the price. You know what I mean? Like, if you were to buy that anywhere else, it probably would have made a quarter of the price, maybe less.
Yeah. The billboards don't.
Yeah. The billboards aren't free. Yeah. M-Sway. Laura Piana Laura Piana is the real deal, I have to say. You certainly are paying. There's still a premium on their products. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but they're at least trying to make the highest level quality possible.
Yes. I will. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. There's definitely a bit of a premium on it, but like you get a Laura Piana sweater versus one of the, other luxury brand sweaters at the same price, and the Laura Piana one will smoke it. Yeah. It'll smoke it.
I mean, it's not like one or the other. Like, some brands have both luxury and the premium price.
Right. There's also a strong possibility that like the luxury brand is also buying from Laura Piana. Like they are also a fabric manufacturer. Like they do produce for others.
Yeah.
But like there's just like the problem is that like within these lines there's a mix of like, here's the good stuff and here's the stuff for, the person who wants the logo thing.
Yeah.
Right? And
like, leather bags are expensive. It's more expensive than no branded version of that same quality, but you still have a certain quality level that you can expect from those brands. Whereas, like, when it comes to t-shirts, like, you can't really,
Yeah. Chris Karras writes, went to the Gussie store in New York City yesterday. They were charging like $600 for denim with a sewn-in monogram cuff. For the price, the pattern should have been engineered into the weft. Shake my head. Yeah. There's just certain things that, like, they know Like, the denim designer there knows what they could have done. But there's probably also somebody who's like, all right, you need to make a jean for this cost so that we're, like, that's it. Like, they're like, this is what the price of our cost needs to be.
Yeah. And it's difficult for like regular consumer to know, like, see the difference between like where there's value, there's actual quality, and they don't. And I think they kind of rely on that too. That, like,
they rely on the fact that people presume that this is luxury
just because of the higher price tag.
Yeah. And where the store is located and all the, like, it's all beautiful, right? But it's like you're I don't know. I just don't like the switcheroo in that. Like, you can produce a high quality product with a lot of margin at that price point. Right? If we can make the best jeans in the world, I'm going to put my stamp on that, for around $300, they too, I'm sure their denim designers there are obsessed about denim like we are. They too could produce that quality of product for their price point and still make a killing. They would still make a killing. If we just sell our MIG jean for $900, they would make a killing. We sell it for $300, they would sell it for $900, $1,200, $1,800. But at the very least, I could look at that fabric and say, that's a good fabric. That's the best fabric.
Yeah.
Their price is crazy, but at least that's the best fabric. Now I look at their products, I'm like, that's far from close to the best. It's far from close to the best, and they're charging it like it's, like they've got gold on their hands. So it's a little disconcerting. Sometimes you see something that they make, you're like, holy cow, like, that's crazy. Because, let's be real, like, sometimes they make those prototype, items. There's a couple out there that are really, really neat, but what they actually sell is just overpriced, mall quality.
Yeah. And like, go a little further. Like, that's not to say that I see a value in good design too. Good design should have, I don't mind me paying for design too, but a lot of the times they're being lately, at least, very very lazy in that, and it's just like, just because we just print a name of the brand, that's fine, and that's there's neither design or the quality in that.
There is a customer base for it. I mean, but I don't know, man. Unless you're ironically wearing, like, I don't even know. Like, it was like that 80s, like, fake Gucci t-shirt that was kind of, fun for a while. But, like, the idea was that it was like, this is clearly fake. I'm not a rich person, and I'm wearing this rich brand, right? And, like, that was, to me, that was part of the appeal of that, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like,
counter of the luxury, yeah.
Now it's like, no. Look at me, I'm rich. And I'm like, that's there's nothing appealing about that. Like, there's nothing appealing about, like, I'm like, yeah, well, you spent $900 on a sweater. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess everyone has a credit card, but what are you going to do? Very, very weird the way that whole industry has what they've done to themselves. I wonder how sustainable it is. I mean, I don't know their bottom lines. Maybe they're just laughing all the way to the bank.
I mean, there still are, probably. I mean, we see it everywhere. But I think customers are becoming a little smarter also. So we'll see.
Hopefully we can help shed some light on that. Sway. A lot of these big fashion houses are just for 10-year-olds who have not the ability to discern what quality is. Yeah, there's probably a bit of, like, they certainly rely on people not knowing. Or basing. There's people who have perception, and there's people who just straight up don't care. They're just like, no, I'm buying the brand. Like, I don't care what the quality is. It needs to say this on my chest.
Yeah.
You need to recognize, by me wearing this, which club I'm part of.
Yeah, and like those big brands, like, assigning people who are like not a designer as their creative director or whatever, like that's when you know that okay, they stopped caring about design like, or the quality or knowledge of this.
It's like Saber hiring Christian Slater as that's a deep office joke. But remember when Saber took over Dunder Mifflin? And they had Christian Slater in their videos, and it was just like,
and Michael is like, Christian Slater would know.
Yeah. It's like, that's, it's cool. Like, look, here's our boy. And, I don't know. There's some talent there, but it's like, I just remember when I was back in my department store days, we would get these celebrity brands all the time. Like it was the start of the celebrity brands, and you would just watch these we would get them all. Like whatever the new celebrity brand was, we'd get it at the store and we'd hype it up, and then like 1 or 2 seasons later, gone, dead, sold to somebody else. They killed it, and it was just like, they don't care, right? Like it's like their name is associated to this jeans brand or whatever brand. It's like, oh, I'm the face of the brand. Oh, this is my brand. I'm like, for marketing purposes. Until like they stop paying your contract, and then you're out of there. Like you like
it's a licensing agreement.
Whatever the situation is, like you're not as involved in this as like, as the day-to-day people who are there. Like imagine you work at one of these brands and like you've been designing there for 10, 15 years, and you're just like working hard to like I want to run this one day, and they're just like, yep, let's bring in the ringer. And that's got to be a little heartbreaking. It's like in pro wrestling, bring everything back to pro wrestling. Like, you got the guys who are working day in and day out, right? These wrestlers, they're doing every little house show, they're doing every pay-per-view, they're doing all the events and blah blah blah. They're working hard, and then WrestleMania season comes. There's only 12 matches on the card. And it's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Let's bring a celebrity in to have one of those spots. And it's just like, could we not do that? Could we just highlight the people who've been, working? And I understand the point is like, oh, well, we're going to bring more eyes to the event if we have, this and that. But it's like, I don't know. At the cost of what? Or like sometimes you'll bring in like one of these like, I don't want to name the wrestler, but there are certain wrestlers out there who are just like, I don't know, they don't give back to the business the way I see it, and they're there to like just be selfish for themselves, do the match, and then they're out of there, and then they're back every time like there's some event that needs to have some nostalgia dust sprinkled on it, and it's like. I really despise that type of wrestler. That like, even if you're an old guy and you're on the way down, like the person who doesn't lay down, right? Put somebody over. Like it's just not what I like. Ramos, you're saying Brock? No, I love Brock. I think Brock. I'm a huge Brock Lesnar fan. I love him. He's great.
It's also like pro wrestling is a show, so like there's again like a value in the like looking like however like actual like fighting abilities are like you. And Brock Lesnar, I'm sure, has the actual
Brock Lesnar, UFC heavyweight champion.
But there's also like it's fine to have people who look very impressive that are like
but if even who looked very impressive, like you've got guys with no wrestling ability who are people in the chat know what I'm talking about. No wrestling ability, really. You're running on nostalgia fumes. You can't. You couldn't do a match then. You certainly can't do a match now, and you're taking the steam out of people who are trying to build themselves up.
Right.
And
again, like I'll go back to that where like there's a value in show aspect, but it's like it's give and take. Like you have to like work.
You have to make it more, give and take.
Yeah, you have to make it more interesting in going up and down. Like,
Yeah.
it can't always be the top
Right.
all the time.
So, they're. It's just my opinion on that one, but I don't like these short-term, type of, whether it's, these celebrity brands. Like, if you're gonna have a brand, do it. Like, be real about it. Don't take somebody's spot. But then again, you're floating millions of dollars in somebody's face. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, and fame is also, something. No, you have it, you use it.
Yeah, I guess. But anyways,
it's fine. Like that's economy. That's fine. And
yeah.
It's just that we're not part of it, and we're a little critical of quality.
I'm critical of quality. There's no question about that. And I'm not against people making money. If you can sell something for whatever you can sell it for, go and do it. But
doesn't mean that other people don't criticize you for that.
I just wish that in the fashion world, that people, like in the magazines and in these articles, that people would criticize a little bit harder. Like in the tech world, you have a video card that comes out that is like, not up to snuff. Every reviewer will destroy it. And the beauty of that is that it puts the manufacturer on its toes. They know that if we don't put out a quality product, that it's going to get wrecked, right? So I like that. I like that there's some critical thinking in here. And now, of course, there's like reviewers that could be just nasty on purpose, and but the reality is there's a lot of reviewers out there. So between everybody, you might be able to, you watch a couple different videos, you might be able to get the real deal story out of this. Sometimes sometimes you get the reviews that I don't like for tech stuff are when like there's like these like the manufacturer will work with these creators and they're like, okay, you can't release this video until this date, and then literally like the minute they're allowed to do it, all the videos drop. And like sometimes I feel like when I watch a couple of different videos that I'm watching the same video, like they're like the same talking points come up. So I don't know if it's like, I just don't feel like they're often genuine reviews.
I'm sure they're giving out this like bullet points.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of that. Anyways, it's a little, but I think that because there are so many different types of tech reviewers out there that we can discern who's good, who's not good, who's being more critical than whatnot. So, you got to consume a lot of information there. But like in the fashion world, because everything is so driven by advertising, nobody's honest. Nobody is going to say a nasty thing about a product from a big label, because if my magazine trashes their new collection or their products or their quality or something like that, well, guess what? I'm out millions of dollars in advertising. It's not going to happen. There's no way that industry is ever going to give you the real talk. Nobody's going to say to you, well, yeah, no, the quality of their products is like, you're getting Zara level quality, right? Which is fine for Zara. For their price points, I think they make a good product. I'm like in contrast to like designer stuff, to me, it's the same. Like, I look at the quality that they put out and the design that they put out, and you look at the designer brands that are putting out, like, similar designs. Like, it looks the same to me, right? Made in the same places, often.
Yeah. I do think that, like, it's... Yeah, it's like, of course, magazines are not criticizing big brands. I think that, there should be more, like, regular people, independent people who are not being, like, supported by millions and hundreds of millions of dollars in advertisement, like, regular people are not sponsored by, these high-end brands. Like, they can talk about it without any consequences.
Yeah. M. Sway says, there's no platform to critique fast fashion, though. I disagree. I think fast fashion gets the brunt of the critique always. Everybody is aware of the fast fashion issues.
And their evilness.
Yeah. That is, I think, well documented. Nobody's shocked by it. Everybody is aware of the situation there.
Multiple documentaries about it.
Yeah. What you never hear is from the big brands.
Yeah. Luxury brand documentaries are always about like
how amazing they are. Yeah. It's just kind of it's not just a proper live. It's tough for Cobra. It's just not a proper live stream without a good rant. There's always going to be a rant. I'm always going to rant, especially about so-called luxury. But to me, like the solution, not that here it is, guys. It's a free seminar for you. Just make better stuff. I mean, to be fair, nobody's criticizing you anyways, so nobody knows. So to be fair, what the hell do I know? Yeah.
I think it makes the job a lot more fun if you make good stuff that you can be really proud of, and not just like marketing terms and whatever that you do. Like when you make stuff that are genuinely exciting and you're proud, then the job is a lot of fun.
And also not like $8,000. It's like, oh well, here's this amazing $8,000 jacket. I'm like, yeah, of course it should be. Like that to me, that's less of an achievement than anything else. It's like, oh my god, here's the most amazing leather jacket. It's $8,000, $9,000, $12,000 for this leather jacket. I'm like, yeah, of course. To me, it should. It's like, how could you screw that up, right? Like,
yes. But that's also like, okay, like however, like if you're able to sell that and swimming in money, like, okay, maybe you could do a better price next time, but. Other than that, like the idea of pursuing the best of the best, regardless of what the price comes out to be, this is another thing. Like it's fine, whatever.
Right.
Like
but is your $12,000 jacket any better than something like that Shot could do? Like maybe you use the particular leather, but like I would argue that Shot would have access to the same materials, right? But like Shot's construction quality, like does it really get better than that?
Yeah, and again, it goes back to the topic of Loro Piana. Like you can have both. You have more of a respect than like hitting the same price point and taking out garbage, like showing garbage. Like if you have a quality standard that is very, very, very high, and the price is premium, okay, like we understand why those brands exist. Some people want that, so like I don't really criticize them that much. It's the people who are pretending to be the high, quality, the top-notch product brand that are really not.
If the hair costs $12,000, then maybe. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. Like you got the Shots, and then you've got the smaller producers who also make really high-quality jackets on that. But
but the price has to be a little bit.
Their prices are higher because they don't have the scale, right? And I understand that. I'm buying it from a smaller producer, and like that's the tax that I'm willing to pay on that, right? But to me, that comes to the point where it's like, okay, now I've got this niche producer producing this really, really incredible, leather jackets or leather boots or whatever. Got it. And then from there, it's like for somebody else to like have this price that's like in space compared to that. I'm like, what am I really getting?
Yeah.
I'm not. And the answer is obviously, advertisements, but. I don't know. You're telling me it's the best. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but the only solution to these problems are people,
customers knowing better,
customers educating themselves and making decisions based off of knowledge rather than perception.
Yeah.
So
I'm also right. Look, I get it that there's a perception customer and there's the customer who wants to buy in. Fine. I'm not trying to convince those people. They're buying for a completely different reason. And I don't think that the quality customer is like, oh, well, I better go over there to buy quality. To be fair, I think that those people are quite knowledgeable as well. So I don't know who I'm complaining about, really. I'm not trying to protect the perception guy from buying into the thing that he's buying. I guess I'm just criticizing the industry at large.
Yeah. I mean, there's some level of evil there. Like they're trying to trick people sometimes.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Really like.
Yeah, I mean, are they? Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough. It's always a fun topic to talk about, and my rants go in no direction at all because I have no ability to do that. But support the people that support you, the people who make products for you, and I think you'll be happy. Somebody said, buy better, buy less. Yes, well, buy better for sure. Buy less is buy whatever, buy less is sometimes the problem in our community is sometimes I think we buy a lot of these, for life type of products, but because we're so obsessed with, like, it's more than, it's our thing is more than need, right?
Yeah. Clothing is a necessity, but also a thing that makes us happy, not things that we only get because we need it. Yeah. Like water.
Right. So buy within reason, I would say. Don't go broke over this. That's really something silly.
But if you have the money, you work hard, and you want to spend it on things that makes you happy, then why not?
It's fine. Like, don't feel bad. Like, I have a ridiculous amount of everything. I do. To be fair, I don't really, I don't suggest anybody get into, like, my level of, collecting things. At some point, it does own you. Like, you have so much stuff. Like, the other day I was going through my video game collection, which I never touch. Like, I really don't play games at all anymore. And, like, I picked up a game and I have the receipt and it's like, all right, 2002 Game Center, Toronto. Like, I'm like, still got the receipt in there. I've probably touched this game, like, in the last 20 years.
To put it on the shelf
and to take it off the shelf. Like, that's it. I've not played it. It's fun to own. It's fun to have, but it's not even that fun anymore because it takes up so much room. I have hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of games. I have a lot, and I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to get rid of it, and I don't want it taking up space anymore. Yeah. I just need a bigger house, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, we should be militant in a way, like, oh, you should only have things that you need. And, that's not having fun. Yeah. I think you're allowed to have fun and enjoy your life. Yeah.
Does Risa collect?
I do collect I do have the, like,
I got some.
Mentality of collecting. And I think, being with Bezad, I think it's a little bit, like, encouraged a little more. I've been, like, getting into plant collecting these days. I'm just, when I see a cool plant, like, I have to have it, and I have to figure out the way to keep it alive, which is a challenge.
For Canadians out there, lately I've been collecting more t-shirts.
We've been collecting t-shirts. I think when our interests align, that's when our collecting is just mega. Viking mugs.
I've always had a lot of t-shirts. Mm-hmm. Like I've probably not thrown away a t-shirt in.
It's hard to throw away a t-shirt.
Plus 30 years maybe. I have in my mom's place. Like there's so many t-shirts. I have hundreds of t-shirts, and we were at a thrift store the other day, and I could not believe that I saw this t-shirt. I had to buy it. It was a little pricey. I think we paid like, how much did we pay for this? 60, 70 bucks?
6,000 yen or something.
Yeah, something like that. I guess not the craziest amount. I really, this is maybe the peak of as much as I would spend on like a vintage t-shirt. This is probably at the top. Like I don't want to spend a lot. It's a Fruit of the Loom, made in Canada, Fruit of the Loom t-shirt, featuring our greatest Canadian hero ever, Terry Fox. Terry Fox run a new decade. Believe in miracles. So I just needed to have this t-shirt. I thought it was really odd to see this in a Japanese thrift store, so I bought it. And for people who don't know, Terry Fox is like the greatest Canadian hero ever. Him and Wayne Gretzky. he ran the Marathon of Hope. He was trying to run across Canada to raise awareness for cancer. He had one leg, and the other leg was a prosthetic, and he unfortunately died during this run. And I remember, I think every Canadian kid learns about him. There's just so many, like my community center had the Terry Fox swimming pool. My high school, we did a lot for like the Terry Fox run. Like, I think we were one of the schools that like raised the most money. And anyways, just a vintage Terry Fox T-shirt. I just had to have it. So as far as like, buy less, I'm not a buy less kind of guy. I'm a constantly buy kind of guy. But it depends on the type of person you are. This is for collecting purposes. And I thought if you're a Canadian, then this would mean a little bit to you.
It's funny because like I learned about Terry Fox. I think when we went to the community center or whatever, that in your hometown.
Yeah.
And like you were telling me about how like this guy's everywhere and everybody's like hero and all that, and then you're telling me like what his achievements are, and I was like, really? Like, is that like, you know? It's just because like you're like when you grow up with it, that's such a like iconic thing. Whereas like you have no like
context.
Yeah, and then you just hear the facts.
Maybe.
And I was like, okay, that's. I mean, I don't understand, but it's like Sebastian.
Oh, like Little Sebastian?
Little Sebastian in Parks and Rec. It's like, you don't understand it unless you're in it.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
If you're a Canadian, you are definitely inundated with the legend of Terry Fox. And, I mean, it is... there's no joke. Like, him and Wayne Gretzky, like, those are our biggest icons ever.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky, I understand. It's like Michael Jordan. Like, I get it. But
isn't it amazing that like Wayne Gretzky and Michael Jordan played like the greatest sports heroes of their sport played at the same time?
A lot of good things came from that time period.
Yeah. Junior Rice, what about GSP? GSP is a Canadian hero, French Canadian hero, but Georges St. Pierre. Yeah. But it's not at this level. Like, you don't understand. Like, I guess Risa makes a good point. Like, unless you are raised with this legend, you might not get it.
Yeah. Not to knock him. Like, he's great. It's great. I've never been, try that hard on anything. But I'm just saying that it's like the image that people have and how like glorified this person is, you would think
maybe right you might think he's a big sports hero or something, but I think for this it's just like, here's this like this young guy who's trying to, he was young. I don't remember how old he was, but he was very young, and here he is with a prosthetic leg running across Canada. The whole country. We got a big ass country.
Yeah, it's very
and it was televised and everyone was cheering him on in support, and then for him to like fall, during this like this light that was being shined on him. It was like, okay, Terry can do it. Like, we're all getting behind him, and then unfortunately the thing that he was raising awareness for, he succumbed to that, and here we are. So it was a very tragic story. Anyhow, the Terry Fox T-shirt. I'm glad to have it. But yeah, a lot of vintage T-shirts, a lot of T-shirts in my collection.
A lot of cups.
A lot of cups. Everything. We collect all kinds of things. So yeah, buy better. Yes, use the thing. I would say try to use the things that you buy. That's important. And then buy the things that you like. And if you happen to have a little bit of excess here and there, if you find that you're not the collector type, share it with a friend, sell it, try to make that item have some use in its life. But I don't think you should feel too ashamed for having a little bit more than what you need, because if we lived on need, it would be a sad existence, I think. Yeah.
Like plants have no meaning.
Yeah.
And not being,
Yeah. Devin Hurt writes, so many years of forced running. Yeah, we did. I don't feel like Terry Fox.
Because you have to do the run.
Yeah. You don't have to do the run. So like
you it's like a school event.
Yeah, it's a school event. I mean, you could walk it or just like not participate, I suppose. But like it certainly is a highly encouraged event among most schools in Canada. My junior high didn't do a Terry Fox run, but my high school was, I think, regionally famous at the time for how much money it raised. Like, it was a big deal how much we would have a giant like money counter thing at the front of the school on this right next to the highway.
And how long is the run normally?
Oh, like there wasn't a distance that you had to run. Like usually, like you get sponsorship, like $1, a mile or something like that.
Okay.
And then
the longer you run, like
but like who's counting? I mean, it's most people would be like, here's like $10 or $5 or $10, like go have at it. And then like you're running, and it's usually like, I remember the way it worked was like, I think our high school was like 6 periods a day, and then like from period 4, 5, and 6, like we were doing the Terry Fox run, so like it was like a half day of school, and like everyone got together, or you would just leave. At some point, I just didn't participate in high school very much, so it was like, oh, there's an assembly, there's anything, I'm like, see you later, and I'd be at the arcade. But yeah. Let's see. So we got some memories of Terry Fox runs here. Terry Fox runs also happen in September. It's usually like the first 2 weeks of school, like we would do it.
Sense.
Yeah. Milo, Terry Fox was a mandatory for my school. LOL. MVP, same with mine. Only junior high though. A bunch of laps all day. We had to run. MVP, high school was not mandatory.
Also, laps are harder than like running in the out and about.
I guess, yeah.
It's like it just gets so like repetitive.
Yeah, my high school had a big track, so like a full size track. So like it would just everyone would just run laps around the track. But yeah, that's Terry Fox runs in Canada, a big event in Canada, and our greatest national hero right here, Terry Fox. Yeah, look him up. You might learn something. His Marathon of Hope. Mike Knight writes, I just got back from a trip to New York. I was able to visit the store. Nice place, nice staff. Couldn't buy anything because it wasn't in my vacation budget. Well, you know what? Just coming to the store is great. You don't have to buy every time you go, but visiting, we greatly appreciate having you come by. Let's get into snack time.
All right.
We've got a great snack today. It's the kinds of
that people like.
That's it. It's the kind of snack you guys enjoy watching us eat. So it isn't as delicious as cow tongue soda, but it is a spicy delight we have. All right.
I'm gonna bring
a little bit of apple juice to. See, just in case it's a little too spicy, a little too hot for TV. Jerry Springer reference there. Who remembers those too hot for TV videotapes they used to sell? Remember buying videotapes on those infomercials. The stuff we can't air on television. That's all on YouTube nowadays. Okay, well, we picked this up the other day. We saw it at the shop. We thought it was neat.
2023 version of Gekikara Mania. It's like, I guess maybe they do this every year. I don't know. I've never seen the yeared version of it. But so this, I guess, started in Gekikara Mania started in 2006.
Okay.
And I guess.
And every year they come up with a hot flavor. So it's a Frito-Lay product. It looks like a Cheeto, and this is going to be a super spicy Cheeto. It comes with an actual warning. I guess the warning is just telling us that this is the real deal spice.
Yeah, so like unless you're confident you can handle spice, don't do it.
Don't eat it. Okay, I like it. You got the little skeleton guy up top there. Now let's see. It is a Frito-Lay product. Are they going to destroy our faces with spice? Does it say if it's like a Chinese spice or anything like that?
I think it's just red pepper.
Red pepper.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, it's not that numbing spice. It's just literal like chili spice.
Okay. MVP saying ghost pepper, habanero.
It doesn't really say which ones.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
How does it smell?
It doesn't smell so spicy. It smells delicious, actually.
Yeah, that's them. They look like a regular Cheeto. These kind of have like a spicy, like a spiced smell, but nothing too over the top here. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look scary either. It just looks very regular Cheeto kind of look.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to give that a shot, everybody. This is the 2023 spicy something or other.
Mm-hmm.
Heat right away.
Yeah.
It's no joke. That is fire on my tongue right from the start.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the after heat is pretty strong too.
Yeah.
Like
for something you could buy like Frito-Lay makes, not like some specialty like hot chip maker, is hot.
It's pretty spicy. It does have a nice taste though. Mm-hmm. It's not like a very acidic, like a gross spicy. It's actually tasty.
Yeah, it's not acidic.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit at the end there. I'm hot. This is it. Like I'm not dying.
This is not the spiciest thing I've ever had.
Yeah.
I've had Thai food spicier than this, but
right. This will, I will say it, this is my line, this will mess a kid up. This will mess up a kid.
Yes, I will not give this to a child.
If you cannot handle spice, you cannot handle these chips. These will hurt your day.
But these are very like, you know, you put it in your mouth, it's instantly spicy.
Yeah.
So it's not like you eat too much and then it's like after that like you suffer the consequence. It's like you basically know what you're getting.
MVP writes, I did the one chip challenge last week with my girlfriend and we almost died.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen people do that online. It looks very painful. I don't even think I do it out of curiosity. I think I know I'm gonna hurt. And like there's no benefit to it.
Right.
It's not tasty. It's just there to bring you pain.
Right.
So that you can record yourself or enjoy the pain with somebody who's watching you.
Yeah.
Right 75, no water on standby. I had a little swig of my iced coffee, but like there was like nothing left. So
we have apple juice, so I brought apple juice.
Yeah. I mean
I'm okay actually.
I'm okay. It burns.
I can't eat the whole bag of it.
Yeah.
I will probably die.
Yeah.
But
so there you have it. Those are hot. Now, for a hot chip,
it's not a bad taste. Like I like the taste.
Yeah.
I don't know how to rate
rank this. I'm not ranking this on my regular chip scale. This has got to be on a spicy chip scale. I'm giving this a an 8.4. It's high.
As in like deliciousness.
It tastes good and it's hot.
Mm-hmm. I like that the hotness of this is very like it's not complicated.
No,
it's very standard spicy pepper.
Your mouth is just hot.
Yeah.
It's tingly. It's hot. Taste is fine. Taste is good. It's tasty.
Yeah.
Like the MVP was saying about the one chip challenge. The company that makes that is a company called Paqui, Paqui. They make a like a green what was that? Like they're mild hot chip. I forget what the flavor is, but I think
it's kind of like a tropical.
Yeah, it's like the bag. I think color is green.
Yeah.
That is a very high quality spicy chip. That's tasty.
That's delicious.
Yeah,
it's really delicious.
But
this is like regular delicious, you know.
But their hottest one is like their ghost pepper one. Is not tasty. It's spicy, but it's not tasty. So I like this for a good balance of everything.
Yeah.
Okay. MVP writes, Packy chips are great. If you want hot chip, ghost pepper especially, coming back from Banff. Yeah, I find that their hottest one is not so tasty. I've had it a few times, but
yeah, the green bag one was
the green bag
yeah.
one is they're one that's just in the middle. I think that's perfect. Okay. All right. There's a conversation about somebody who thought mayo was spicy. That's odd. Chris, Karis, Bayhead's eyes watering. I don't think they're watering, but they're not watering. But I'm definitely feeling the heat.
I'm feeling the heat in my mouth, like my tongue's hot.
Okay, everybody, that's it for today.
Yeah,
we've had a great live stream. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. We'll be back again, as always, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube every Friday evening. On Monday, we'll drop the video for the Sea Island Cotton Selvedge, and then tune in on Wednesday for This Week at Tate Yoko, so you can see the boys from Tate Yoko and what they are up to there.
And then on Wednesday, the sale starts also.
Wednesday, Labor Day sale as well. Yeah. That's right. So a lot of things going on. Have a great weekend, everybody. Do something nice for yourself. Do something nice for somebody else. And we'll see you guys next week. All right. Bye, everyone.